there's been rumors that the Hulk and Wolverine are going to have their own movie, and then there's more rumors that might actually be happening. And thank God that Brett's here to talk about all this stuff with me. Oh man, because this is going to just be an in-depth conversation on all this stuff, because then you got Moana 2, the reactions and reviews are in, how much money he's going to make. I was very excited to talk to Steph about Dune Prophecy, so we'll have to make up a whole bunch of stuff with Brett, because there's no world that he watched that. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But this is a very daunting task for Brett. He's got to defeat Roka on his own now without Steph. And so far, 2 questions. So he's looking good. So the day before Thanksgiving, and Brett and I are doing another show. Last year, our title led something along about people shitting in line on the Disney lines. So that's the kind of show you're going to get today. So buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
All right, let me tell you.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Monday, and I am so excited, Brett. It's me and you, buddy. How you doing?
Good. What's up, guys?
Am I wrong? Did you actually see the Dune Prophecy series?
No, I did not see.
You haven't even seen Dune 2.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I finally finished it.
Oh, okay.
No, I enjoyed it. This one isn't exactly. I don't know. I kind of not interested in seeing something so far in the past.
Yeah, it's pretty far. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll start right off.
Is it fun? Is it good?
I like it. I actually like it a lot. I like it. I think because people were telling me that it was just okay, and that it was slow, and that it was not that people were like it's okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I like the back history. I like it's about the Bene Gesserit, about the kind of the start of the whole thing, and how the witches really came to prominence, and it's you can tell they're going more Game of Thronesy with it, because it's not a PG-13 show. It's rated. It's R for sure, and there's
a lot of just
pure fucking.
Bene Gesserit, this.
That's it. But there is a little ass play.
Little ass play? Good. You had me at a little ass play.
Little ass play, not big ass play. Little.
I mean, I probably enjoy it, but again, it's not. We
enjoy the show or ass play.
Ass play, both.
Right.
No, I actually never been a fan of it, but we don't need to get into that.
Okay.
For myself,
or
I don't
for yourself.
Okay. And I digress.
Yes, you do.
If you send in your questions about how to make a turkey, because I've been making turkeys for Thanksgiving for the last 25 years. So
everybody talks about how much they love you all the time. They say, Brett's the best. We love Brett. Well, let Brett beat Roka, because what an underdog story that would be. Roka is sitting at 82 questions right now, and you stand at 2 at the moment. And I'll tell you, there's 2 things that would make me upset. One, if you don't at least hit 20 questions, that will make me upset. And the second thing that makes me upset is that this is why I took a shot. We know what I was doing? I have my interviews that I do. And what I started to do was I put the interviews on these shows, on these live shows. And I said, okay, I'll lead with the topic, and then people will watch it, and they watch it through. Because if I put the interviews out on their own, they don't do as well. So I had put that the Matthew Lillard one out. It did pretty well. I did it. There's another the Renzi Felice one did pretty well. So I'm like, okay, it's Jaleel White. Freaking growing up Urkel. Let's do it. Everybody who watched it loved it. Didn't even hit 3,000 views. And I'm like, come on, guys. I'm trying to kick the doors down here with this shit. And it's like, it's a good conversation. Watch it. And it's one of the, and I don't know if it's YouTube not pushing it. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to have to clip out a lot of the interview, because there's just too many good things in there for people to miss. I have so many things with him talking about, not only with Family Matters, but Skeleton Crew and Sonic and all those things. So I'm hoping people are checking it out.
I probably have annoyed people how much I talk about you and your model of things and like comparing like, well, this is what Kristian does, this is what Kristian does. And the big thing that I think is the most frustrating for you, and I'm sure you'll agree, is that that's a well thought out interview with a known person, and that gets that much. And then there's the fart show that gets a little bit more, but then you step out of a theater with your phone and talk for 30 seconds about a film and you get 150,000 views. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it does in a certain aspect, because like,
I mean,
you look
lengthwise, I guess.
Well, what people are searching for, right? If you look at like, say, I don't know, when Gladiator 2 did like 150,000 or whatever it did, it's because people were searching for Gladiator. The people were curious about it, and it got picked up. And and people are getting more and more used to the interviews, but it's where the clips. Even look at the Mark Paul Gosselaar one, right? Like, there's a clip of Mark Paul Gosselaar did like 1.2 million when he's talking about the Saved by the Bell fight. The interview itself, I think, did like 25,000, and a lot of that pushed towards, from people finding the clips, pushing towards it. The audience is looking for the live show. They're looking for out of the theater reactions and certain interviews. And look, it's also long. It's an hour long, but I just like the conversations. And I also swore something to myself, because I've done this twice before, and I said, I'm not doing this again. When I did one-on-one with Kristian Harloff, and I did the interviews, and back then, 25 to 50,000 views wasn't good. And now YouTube's just changed in how that works, and even with from monetization, from algorithms, from all that stuff, 25 to 50,000 is a very good number. But I was looking at certain things that was going on with that one-on-one with Kristian Harloff show, and I pivoted that and turned that into Collider Live, which I wish I wouldn't have done. I wish I would have just kept with one-on-one with Kristian Harloff and never even created freaking Collider Live. But nonetheless, I did that show, and then I tried to bring it back on the SEN channel, the one-on-one, and the same thing happened. I really, I had Sholem Duenya, I had the Cobra Kai guys, I had a bunch of different people on there. I was like, okay, maybe people will respond to it again. Same thing happened. I'm like, okay, well, clearly nobody wants to watch the interview, so I'm like, I'm not doing them anymore.
Yeah.
Even though I'm most passionate about the interviews. That's the thing, that I like talking to people. I also,
well, let me toot your horn a little bit here. I've sat post interview with these people, and they're like so refreshed by your interviewing style and how you don't ask like stock questions like what's your process and stuff like that. I mean, like I've witnessed it, and I mean, if people, I'm just saying, go check them out, because Kristian is a great interviewer, and it's not, in the same way that I love the way Stern interviews people. It's like that. It's not the stock, news junket kind of stuff. He gets some good stuff out of people, and even you ask questions sometimes that you're not supposed to, I believe.
It's funny you say that, because I have a guest coming up soon, and I'm gonna honor what they said, but there was a very specific thing in the email of trying to stay away from, and I was like, okay, when that is asked up front, then I stay away from it. But the only time when I was in an interview, there was a particular guest, and I asked the guest when they showed up, I said, is there anything you don't want to talk about? He said, no, I'll talk about anything. And I brought up a particular thing that had happened. It was something, and the publicist stopped the interview with, no. And I go, listen, if you want me to cut things out after the interview's over, just ask me.
Yeah.
Do not stop the flow of the interview by going like this, like you're you're one of those freaking waving things at a gas station. It's like, what are you doing? But mostly, it's been pretty positive, and I actually got that response from Jalil's people afterwards, where they were very happy with the conversation and everything. I was like, good, I can't wait for people to see it. But that is why, and the reason why I decided that even if it doesn't do as well as I would hope that it would do this episode, I was like, well, that's why I'm going to clip the shit out of it and put it on that clips channel. Like today, after we get off the air today, I'm just gonna that's what I'm gonna do. Roxy went through the interview, gave me the time codes, the stuff to go through, and I'm gonna clip out things. I'm gonna put them up on that channel, and hopefully people discover it that way, because it's too good of a conversation, and he opened up too much for it to be, and I'm glad the people who did watch it really responded to it. So I don't know what it is with people when it comes to certain people they click on, Certain people, they don't give a shit, you know. And it's like, but I don't think that's necessarily just that though, because when it comes to like, say, like the algorithm, right? If I've looked at interviews that Jalil's done very, very well, and he's very popular. People want to hear his stories, and it's just a matter of if the algorithm at first YouTube's going, oh well, people don't want to see it, so we're not pushing it out, and it's like that's what happens. So hopefully with interviews it picks back up, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah, but
So suck it.
but we've been really. I mean, it's been really good. The live show has been doing very well. In general, the reviews and everything, just the channels, all three of the channels right now. We have three, well, I guess four, including Matt Sarah's channel, but three channels in general. And yeah, you still haven't told me when you're coming in on January. We've been
preparing for guests to come in for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So my whole last couple of weekends have been cleaning and organizing. Remember when like a weekend was set for fun?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
but I will say, algorithm aside, this show is going to break the internet. I'm sure it's buffering for everybody because of all the traffic right now coming in on this show. When they saw just me on, they're like, click it, baby.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they did. Well, they want
what
you
am I up to 3?
No, you're at 11. You're at 11. You're doing good so far. 11.
Come on.
11. Look, it is. We did do this last year. I forgot because Luke pointed this out to me last year. You and I did a. Do you remember that we did a Thanksgiving show together?
Yeah.
I didn't remember it. He told me he's like, yeah, you and Brett did a Thanksgiving show last year, and I go, we did. He's like, yeah, and then he told me the headline of it, which was the people shitting in bags at Disney. And I was like, I remember that. That I remember. So either way, there's stuff that we're going to discuss, and as I mentioned with Dune, I would highly recommend the show to people. I've said this a few different times with different movies and things. I like being back in the world of Dune, and it might eventually go there, but it's not Arrakis. You know, they mention a lot of Arrakis, but it's not. Like when you think of Dune, you think of the desert planet, right? That's what you think of when you think of those movies. But this is more so in different places. And I'll tell you, Travis Frimmel, who was in Warcraft and some other things, he's great in this show. There's only 2 episodes, and I'm all caught up right now, which is...
Are they're hour long, or 20 minutes?
They're about an hour. They're about an hour long, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really I like the show a lot. I really do like the show a lot. So between that and then what else did I watch? I told people I watched Juror number 2. Can't give my thoughts yet on War of Rohirrim, except the fact that I dug it. But I want to do the social embargo and the reviews and all that stuff comes. It doesn't lift for a little bit. But yeah.
Well, we popped into this new show. I don't know if you heard about it, Fallout. We've been watching that. That just came out, right?
Yeah, it came out about 5-6 months ago. It's pretty recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Do you like it? Do you dig it?
We're like, hey, should we do Fallout again? After that uncomfortable first episode we watched with our son, where there was a pretty graphic sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
In a way, but just...
But did you see well, Michael Emerson was in that show too. How many episodes are you in?
Oh, I honestly don't know which one it is, but we're pretty far in.
Oh, okay.
Michael Emerson is the Lost guy? Yeah. We're past that.
Okay. Yeah, he's in. You know, we had him on the show, and you know what's funny is that we did clip outs. I think no, we didn't. We have a bunch of Michael's having clip outs on the channel. See, that's the other thing, dude. Right now is that I have so many clips sitting in that channel right now without the Jaleel White stuff. And then Matt Sarah, we have a bunch of clips in Matt Sarah's channel that it's like the tedious part is the thumbnails. That's the tedious part because I've got to make like 40 thumbnails in the next and trying to do like 2 or 3 of them. I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 of them out, but the first priority is to clip out that Jaleel White stuff, and we'll see how that goes. But we're getting a lot of good guests, and I'm not stopping with guests. I mean, if ideally I'd like to have 2 or 3 guests a week. That's my overall goal.
Yeah,
that's my overall goal is to have big guests and people that in general, because it's what I've always wanted to do. It's how I want to do it, and I'm not. And instead of, like I said, being discouraged when certain times when people aren't clicking on it. Somebody said it in the comments. Sometimes they're going to click on the guest and sometimes they're not. And it's 100% true. it's 100% true. It doesn't take away from the fact that you're like, oh, I know it's a really good conversation, and it's really like it's a really good conversation. It's entertaining.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. If it is all your thing to watch an interview, I'd check it out. But also, if it's not your thing, just test one out. I mean, I'm not getting paid to say this,
No,
guy.
I know it's true.
It's just something again, I've sat there and watched you interview people, and I'm just like, I don't know, you know. And who was it from Sopranos? Oh God, it's
Robert Eiler.
Robert Eiler's like was just so pleased with the interview, and was just like, oh man, now did you write all that down? And you're like, no, I just kind of, you know, had a couple in my head and just kind of went with it, you know. He was so impressed by your interview and like just happy. I think they come out of there refreshed. Yeah, you know.
I told you my favorite comment I ever got was CM Punk, you know, Phil Brooks, when he came in when we were doing Collider Live. And my favorite comment that I asked him, they told me not to ask about, they didn't want to talk about wrestling too much, but organically wrestling came up, you know, just came up as we started talking about wrestling. And I said, listen, I had heard, this was when he was way before he was coming back to wrestle, but it was when I had heard about the WWE, him going in there to do like announcing for Fox or something for WWE, separate, but similar, if that makes any sense. And I had heard about it, and he hadn't confirmed it to anybody. And so when I asked him, you see him hesitate for a second. He goes, "Yeah, I did it." And we talk about it for a bit, and we have the conversation. And then he said to me afterwards, he goes, "Do you know why I gave that to you?" I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because you talk to me like a human being." Yeah. And that's the thing. It's the one thing that thank you for, like, the Stern thing was always like the thing that listening to him growing up was that you gotta, and sometimes he doesn't do this, and it always drove me nuts when you do this, is that when you don't listen, you got to listen because. And I did it a couple times in that Jaleel White episode where I'll have something that I know in my head. I'm going, okay, I want to talk to them about this. But if he says something interesting, let's just go down that road. Let's just go that road instead and see where that goes, because that to me is more organic and more fun. I'll get back to the other stuff I want to talk about, but like
this thing where it's like and then okay, no, I need to oh yeah, I forgot to ask you about so what was this like? You know,
what was it like working
looking
with
at your notes kind of thing?
Right. What was your process? What was your process? What is this?
Yeah.
Like, so who cares? And
I hear you're dating.
But to be fair, sometimes, and I've been I would say victim of this, but when it comes to like certain corporations or certain places, they only have like 3 or 4 minutes, and they say, "Hey, we want to make sure we get this soundbite out of them, so ask them this." And they give the interviewer 4 questions and say, "Get to those," and the interviewer can't really do anything because they just ask questions that the outlet wants you to ask. So that's part of it.
You have to do it.
Yeah, it's why I hate 3-minute interviews. I love doing like longer ones. So anyway, okay, we got some other, and Brett, you're at 17 right now. They're trying to push for you. They're trying to get you to beat Roka. How about that? If you beat Roka, what a Cinderella story this would be. Oh, what a Cinderella story. It would be big.
Let me ask you a question, Kristian. When I interviewed
Chewbacca, it was my favorite.
Do you think I was the only person to write a full script for that interview?
Maybe. I loved it. I wish we had
like I said in a script, they approved, they took out lines that was a little too edgy, sent it back to me, and like, here we go. Yes. And the people filming it were all just like, this is great. Let's do, you know, like they were totally, oh yeah. And then I'll put in his mouth, you know, the sounds.
It was hilarious. I thought it was underrated bit for sure. And that was there was so much. That was because you I think got tired of, and clearly I did too, but you got tired of Collider Live also pretty fast. But when you started, like my idea of what that show was gonna be was in the beginning when we were having you go around and pranking people in the studio and going out into the AMC Burbank and talking to people, like that was the kind of stuff. And then we got no support around it, and you're like, when the people you're working with are treating you like you're an annoyance, I'm like, come on, I'm like, forget it, not worth it. That was the fun stuff that we were trying to do in the beginning there, like those types of things and those bits with Chewbacca,
I mean,
and that stuff.
To have the resources to film me, because if you would have seen me going up and interviewing like people and the fear in my eyes.
Yeah, I know, it's the best.
It would have been gold.
No, we just didn't get any support behind it. I was like, no, we have better things to do. What, from a video that's going to do 200 views? It's like, give the guy a camera crew. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, we didn't get the support there for that. But either way, we have the support now, and we have things. And I'll tell you, Marvel's got the support, and there's some stuff. What do you care? But you give a shit about this? Did you see Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way?
What was it? I sorry, broke. No,
Yeah, no, you didn't see that. It's on now. It's on Disney Plus.
Is
You have
it
no
streaming?
excuse now. It's on Disney Plus now. You got no excuse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to do that.
Great.
I've seen the other ones.
Perfect. That's good. You know. Oh, you know what we did a reaction to today? So I don't think I had ever. I think I definitely only saw scenes because Tina watched Sonic, the first Sonic, with me today, and I thought I had seen it. I saw maybe a couple of scenes from this movie. So we watched Sonic today, and it was funny because she's into animation and she's into kids movies and things of that nature too. But she's a big horror thriller fan. So I don't ever tell her when she's coming in what we're going to watch. So she comes in today, and I told her I saw Nosferatu, and she got all excited. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, have you ever seen The Witch? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh man, maybe we do that. And then I was like, Lighthouse, I've never seen. Northman, I was like, she's never seen any of the Robert Eggers films, and she would really like them. But then I'm like, but we're watching Sonic, and she goes, really? And I go, yeah. She's like, all right, and she loved it. She loves Sonic. Yeah. So it worked. That it's a good. That one's a good reaction to. But that's another one, dude. Like the reactions, you don't know which ones are going to hit and which ones aren't, right? Like Iron Man did well, but Hulk did okay. Deadpool 1 did good. Deadpool 2, no. Deadpool 3 did great. And it's like, it's such, you never really know with this game, what's going to go which way. Because it's not like the content changed at all. It's just a matter of what people want to watch. It's like, well, you know what? I didn't really love The Incredible Hulk too much. So I don't give a shit if you're watching it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see how Sonic does. Very, very curious. It's so hilarious. PLD just put a super chat in and I can see it. Everybody just says, I can't let Roka win. So people, and the only thing, so
thank you, PLD.
What's hilarious is that there is a possibility, but I think that the possibility is not. Because, Roxy wasn't on the show yesterday. And that's when I ran the Jaleel interview instead. So we didn't have a live show yesterday. So Monday it was Roka, and I said, Roka, your only competition on Wednesday is going to be Brett and Steph. And he's like, I got this in the bag, right? So then I said, okay, because we're not going to do a show on Thursday. Obviously, we're not doing a show on Friday. However, there's a little there's a little new wrinkle in the game. Is that what they call it? Something?
Sure.
Crinkle, wrinkle. Winklevoss,
yeah,
whatever it is.
Winklevoss.
Little change. Winston and Coy are going to be doing the show together without me on Friday. Ooh. Now that's a very good possibility. Those two doing the show without me. They may very well. So what kind of number is Brett going to do here today? We shall see.
Come on, people.
Yeah, but there was an article that came out that Luke sent me this morning, and it says Marvel Studios is now moving forward with a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie. There's been chatter about it, but if a new rumor is to be believed, Marvel is officially moving forward with a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie. It is easy to forget now, but the Incredible Hulk was right there alongside Iron Man in 2008 when the MCU launched. The movie was neither a hit nor a flop, but given the tepid response to the reboot and behind-the-scenes issues with Ed Norton, it soon became the franchise's black sheep. Rights issues also came to play, and it wasn't until 2002's She-Hulk Attorney at Law that the Incredible Hulk was referenced in a meaningful way. Next up is the leader's return in February's Captain America Brave New World. There's been rumblings for at least the past year about a World War Hulk or Hulks movie being in development at Marvel Studios. There's no way we'll see that before Avengers Secret Wars, and a new rumor points to there being other plans for the Jade Giant moving forward. According to the Scooper, My Time to Shine Low, Marvel Studios has been actively developing a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie. Now, there's no word on what this project will, or what form this project will take, or which variants of these characters we can expect to square off, or it could be another multiversal adventure starring Hugh Jackman and Mark Ruffalo, for example, or perhaps a story set in whatever the MCU looks like after the supposed soft reboot Secret Wars will lead to. If it is the latter, then we might see a new actor play Wolverine, with Hulk factoring into his origin story, similar to their first clash in the comics. Logan, then working for Department H, battled the Green Goliath during his first appearance in 74's Incredible Hulk. For what it's worth, Jackman has been rooting for the team up at least since 2014. There's no doubt that he'd get into a fight with Hulk at some point. Those two bad, rage-filled characters are going to square off at some point. It would be quite fun. I don't know how much fun to shoot it would be because I'm sure I'd be on the worst end of it, but hey, he can heal. In 2020, he added, Wolverine could best the Hulk for sure. Let's just be clear. I don't know if you know this, but the Wolverine actually appeared first in a Hulk comic. He was like a last page, some guy coming, so it was the Hulk series he appeared, so that's sort of where the feud came from, and then Wolverine sort of took on his whole life, so I'm sure the Hulk is very jealous. Deadpool and Wolverine teased that clash, but it seems Marvel Studios might be saving the fight for its own movie somewhere down the line. Okay, Brett. So here's the question I have for you, because I know a lot of the stuff you're caught up with, some of it you're not, right? So the way that they're lining up the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that there's going to be this lead up to there's two Avengers movies that are coming out, and the second Avengers movie that comes out is supposed to be like the end of the multiverse. All that's supposed to end, and then they're supposed to shoot into the future with X-Men. So after the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman was only supposed to be like a one and done, he comes back and maybe pops into one of the Avengers movies and the multiverse stuff, but the movie makes over $1 billion, and Ryan Reynolds even jokes about it, about he's going to be playing Wolverine until he's like 90 years old.
Deadpool.
What did I say?
Wolverine.
He's going to be playing Wolverine. He's going to be playing Wolverine.
Ryan Reynolds
to Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman
he's going to be playing
Wolverine.
until he's 90 years old. So stop interrupting me. So he's going to basically the question is, if they do this movie, Hulk versus Wolverine, do they capitalize once again on Hugh Jackman's popularity and get him to do it again? Or do they do what this article potentially suggests too, is that, all right, look, this is a great way to introduce a new Wolverine, a new Hulk. Let's just do it that way. What do you think is the best option? What do you think they're going to do?
The best option would be to have Hugh Jackman.
You think so?
But the option I think they will do is somebody new.
See, I feel the opposite.
I just think the popularity of Hugh Jackman, I think, as Wolverine, I mean, like, he is, you see him in other things and you think Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I don't know, having somebody new. I don't know, this is off the subject or whatever a little bit, but I don't know why we don't have like a buddy movie with Hulk and Deadpool, because I think that would be absolutely brilliant because of the back and forth between those two knuckleheads.
But that's the question, though. What this is why. So I actually feel the opposite of what you feel. I feel like because they're so familiar with Wolverine and the audience is so familiar with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine that it's a guarantee. People already accept him. And he just made another $1 billion by teaming up with Ryan Reynolds. That to them, they go, look, if Hugh's going to do it, then and we can do one with him and Ruffalo, then why not do this? The problem is, one, the amount of money you're going to spend on both those guys. That's part one. But you're still going to make it back. So it's not as relevant as my other complaints with budgets. But the other thing is where Hulk is from. They still haven't got him out of talking intelligent Hulk. He's not Rage Hulk, and you want to see him as Rage Hulk. You can bring that back and figure a way to do that, but how much time do you have in order to do that? But if you kind of reset and reboot the MCU with a new Hulk, complete Rage Hulk, and then introduce Wolverine, and that's how, because if you introduce a new Wolverine in a Hulk movie with Hulk and Wolverine, you're introducing both of them together. You're like, I don't care. Let's see. Hopefully, both these new guys are great. Let's see what they got, and what a way to shine together.
Yeah, I agree that it's a fun gamble, but it is a gamble. I think it's something that of course, every film's like this. It could go either way, but I just think that reintroducing two brand new characters as people that we've seen played by other the same person for a long time is going to be a tough sell. But I'm interested in it.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of people would be interested in it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
You can tell the sell
back and forth on it in my head. It'll sell, but
you can tell why it'll definitely
would
sell.
It sell as much as Ruffalo and Jackman?
Maybe not. But there's also the other side of this where this could all be BS. It's not confirmed. This is also just that a report that is the case.
What does Doomcock say?
I don't know. I don't know about old Dooms. I don't know what he's been doing with himself.
Doomsy cat.
Old Doomsy cocky. I have no idea. But I will tell you that this is interesting to me overall if it does happen. It's just a matter of what that slate's going to look like. This is not an announcement. This is just something that could potentially happen. And it would, to me, it would be an interesting way to reboot the characters. And I think that's something that should happen. So, anyways, before we move on, Brett, have you tried? You don't do the THC anymore.
I do, but I'm interested in this because it has more of a varietal and more of like the CBD heavy stuff.
It does.
I can handle.
It does, and it's also like, but there's stuff for like focus. There's stuff for sleep. There's a lot of different things, and I'm talking about Via for people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna tell you about Via, and then right after that, I'm gonna tell you guys about our good friends over at the Perfect Gene. So let's start with Via. Here you go. You're welcome. Yep, I gave you the gift of Via. That's right. And I'm going to give it to you again. If you want to break from the crowded stores and the endless gift lists, you restore your zen and you embrace the natural power of cannabis this holiday season with Via. This holiday season, you got to unwind, you recharge with Via. Whether you're enjoying a quiet evening at home or embracing the festive cheer, Via's premium THC and THC-free gummies will help you find your perfect holiday balance. Via is well renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies, and they legally ship to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. There's no medical card required. Right now, Via is having a huge holiday sale. For a limited time, you can save up to 25% off of site-wide plus up to 50% off select items and bundles. So if you are 21 and up, check out our link to Via's website in the description. I absolutely love Via. There's so many different things. It does feel like Christmas when you get it. Anyway, my favorite one is the sleep one. I really dig it. It's wonderful. Really nice dreams. Use that code Kristian for 25% off. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. You got to support our show and you tell them that we sent you this holiday season. Enhance your everyday with Via. Hey, Mando, y'all been running around, working out, just walking. And you're like, oh, that stinks. No matter where it is, your pits, your nuts, you need Mando. I like Mando because it's smooth, baby. But I like when I'm in the shower and I'm using any of the Mando stuff, I'm like, oh, I smell wonderful. And I didn't know how it was going to work before I even knew about Mando. And then now that I do, I can't go back. I love it. Deodorant is wonderful. It is safe to use anywhere in your body. You can use it on your pits. You can use it on your nuts. You can use it on your thigh, no matter what, your belly button, your butt. There's a lot of different variety of fresh scents that you can do. Bourbon leather is the one. I talked to Winston about one. That's the one I think he uses too. 12 hours after the shower, the average man's Grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average Grundle odor level is a 0. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers will get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code, Big Thing. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack code. But you got to use that code Big Thing. Go to shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Use that code Big Thing. Well, thank you to our friends over at Mando and, of course, Via. There's a lot of great things that I just gave you, those two, to get for the holiday season. You probably have friends that would give you a big old hug if you got them some Via, and you probably would probably get the same type of hug that you'd want to get a hug because people would be smelling good after using Mando. So there you go. Brett, my friend, guess what?
Yes.
27 already, man. You're 27. People want you to beat Roka. They want you to be Roki. You got a little bit more to go before you can do that, but hey, you got a shot. Are you going to see any movies during the break?
I don't think so. I mean, usually we just have people in town, so we go, do outdoor excursions.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And you got kids that are a little older now, but like, I assume that Lydia wants to see Moana too, right?
I would think so, yeah. But she's gotten weird with like not wanting to see things with us.
She's
Like
just
just
13
wants
years old.
to.
Yeah, she's 13 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
get it. My almost 13-year-old is the same way. The better way to say it is we're all pain in the ass. But I think that but she still wants to see this because Moana was a big moment, and the reviews are in. One of those is mine. I saw it the other day. I guess let me read what some of these reviews are, and then I'll kind of go over my
All right.
thoughts. And here it is. So Moana 2, the reviews are in, ladies and gentlemen. And originally planned as a TV series. Oh, I thought it was a TV movie. Disney opted to change strategies, and earlier this year, a TV series, is that true? I thought it was supposed to just be a TV movie. I want to get confirmation on that. People tell me in the comment section. I think that might be wrong. Anyway, Moana the series, I guess they keep saying it, so maybe I'm wrong. A feature film to release this Thanksgiving. Well, here's now. What is that? Well, we're here now, and the reviews are in. 68 reviews. Film sits at a 69%. Okay, Galaxy Geek said it was a series, so thanks a lot, Luke. You're supposed to be on my side. Anyway, Rotten Tomatoes and 57 out of 100 on Metacritic. The mixed response is a far cry from the celebrated 2016 film's 95%. The consensus seems to be that though there's nothing particular wrong with the film, it has a touching lesson to it along with strong visuals. There's nothing particularly special about it either. Bland songs and a paint-by-number story to a first film that was one of Disney's best animated films of the past 2 decades. Sampling of review quotes. It's always a tough ask to improve upon the original, but Moana 2 is a sprightly addition to this sea-faring legacy. It does something nearly impossible in our sequel-gutted world. Make me want further adventures. Moana 3, ahoy. Moana 2 is an okay movie, an above-average kiddie roller coaster, and a piece of pure product in a way that the first movie at its best transcended. So a lot of those different things. Okay, so what I will say is this. I agree with the summary that they had in the beginning there, right? That it's an okay movie. The message is really good. I enjoyed watching it. I liked watching it. The songs were, to me, I almost was like, I wish I had a remote. I was like, fast forward the songs. These songs aren't working.
Really?
Yeah, the songs in Moana 1 are great. Lin-Manuel Miranda is missing. He is clearly missing.
My daughter would had the full costume and a blue blanket and a piece of cardboard like a raft and like this dowel rod thing or whatever. Like, and she would stand up on the edge of the thing and like sing this. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it was so wonderful. So that's disappointing.
It felt like a Broadway musical. I mean, this is a guy who wrote for Broadway musicals, writing it was a Broadway musical. It felt like it. The music was as much of a character as anything else. The music in this is completely forgettable. I can't tell you one song that anybody sang. I remember the first Moana when The Rock was singing, and I was like, "Wow, look at him! He's crushing this song." And in this, I'm like, "Maybe you shouldn't be singing." And it's just not memorable. And what I will say is that the movie itself, I completely agree with that summary that it's a lesson that should be learned by kids, and it's a fun watch, and there's some heartwarming moments, but it is not that big kind of memorable movie. I disagree with people that say this is terrible, not a good movie, this is bad. Is it a little generic? Yeah, it's generic, and it's not as special. It doesn't have the magic of the first one, but I was like, this is god awful. Do I think that now? This is funny though, because a lot of times when I go, there's a cash grab. What the definition of I bang my head on the table anytime someone goes, I think it was a cash grab. No, learn what the definition of a cash grab is before you say that. Cash grab to me is like, let's just make this because we know it'll make money. It doesn't really matter
if it's good.
It doesn't, if just put this in there, put that in. I think the intention of this movie was indeed a cash grab. I think the intention was because they're like, well, let's do a series of it. We'll just get more subscribers to it, and we'll turn it into a series, and we'll get people in there, and we won't should we pay for Lin-Manuel? He's not available. Well, we don't want to spend the money on him anyway. The Rock isn't even in this movie for the first 20 minutes. So it's like, I think that, he's in it towards the end quite a bit, but I think for the first 20 minutes, they're like, pay him, give an executive producer credit. You can tell the moments that were made as if this was, I guess, a series. I thought it was a Disney Plus movie, but so the definition of what a cash grab could be, if someone's like, this was meant for a cash grab, I'm not going to argue with you on this one. I'm not going to argue with this one. Now, do I think there's nothing good about this? No, I think I got out of the theater and I said, I enjoyed watching this movie. I didn't mind watching it, but there was definitely, it's not even close to the first one.
Was it straight to video bad as like back in the day?
Like Cinderella 2? No.
Yeah.
I mean, Cinderella, those movies, like, when they did Aladdin 2 and all that, they didn't even get the original. They didn't even pay the money to get the original actors. Like, they got Homer to do the genie voice because Robin Williams wouldn't do it.
It's so unfortunate when they do this because I mean, look at Toy Story. They took the time, they made great sequels to those films, and they, people love them, and they didn't ruin the name of it. I don't think you're saying this is ruining it, but
no, it's not ruining
you already had something that was everybody found so precious, and all you had to do was just improve on it or make a film just as good.
Look at Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2 did exactly that, but this was a Bob Chapek error. This guy was just like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store later. Can we stream it and put it on Disney Plus? We're going to do a nanny series of my nanny watching my kids. Should we stream it? And it's like, you want to stream everything. And it's like, and Moana too. Let's not put the money into we need more people to watch our series, our service. Let's make Moana 2 as one of our popular things. Let's make it a series, and don't spend the money on getting Lin-Manuel and don't do that. Hence the cash grab part of it, right? And let's just do that. And then Bob Iger comes back. He goes, what? Basically, you just said, what the hell are we doing? This is Moana. We just made all this money in the first one. It was a great movie. We have this stuff shot at this point.
You had the time. Yeah. You had the time. It's been a while. You had the time to craft. I mean, that again, Toy Story, they took the time in between those films to make better. Same thing with Inside Out. I mean, the girl in that grew up almost the same age. Our kids were the same age when it came out as when the second one, right?
This is what I think, though, with the unfortunate part of this movie. Like, and I'll use Sonic as an example, right? When I was watching Sonic, I said to Tina, I was like, the great thing about this movie is that clearly kids can enjoy it. Clearly, it is also written. There's a lot of jokes that'll go over kids' heads, and they won't get lost by it. This is made for everybody. This is made for everyone, and everybody can really be on board with this. This one, to me, you're going to get more critiques from adults the way that you're seeing in a lot of the summary that Dark Horizons put in there of really diving. This is going to, like, my 7-year-old is not going to have these critiques. She's not going to even notice that Lin-Manuel is not there, but she's going to be watching Moana and everything too. My 13-year-old probably notice it a little bit more, and especially now she's become a Hamilton fan and everything too, that she'll probably notice that music is missing. But the real young kids, I think, are going to be fine with this, and I still think it's going to make a lot of money. But it's not even, and it's, I think, because they're they're being judged on what they just did with Inside Out 2, which was Inside Out 2 is a great movie. It's a great movie. It's an emotional movie. It works. It made $1 billion. This one is clearly them pulling things from the service and saying which I think is a smart move, by the way. They should have made. Well, the move shouldn't have been made in the first place. It should have always been a theatrical movie.
Well, and who decided? And did Lynn not want to do it, or did they just not want to pay him?
I think it was a mixture of. From what I read, was A, they didn't have the money they didn't want to spend the money on it because it was going to be a series, and B, he was busy, so I guess they used that his scheduling. He wasn't able to do it, so they had
pre-Hamilton Lynn for the first one, so they probably
no Hamilton Hamilton was already a running play by the time I mean, that was, 2016 was when
Was
Moana
it
came
as
out.
popular as when they?
He was blowing up at that point, so
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they got
not
him.
like when,
No,
because
but
when I think it blew up is when they put it on streaming and people from home were able to see it. As far as I know, I don't know, man.
yeah,
I didn't think the Minions did good.
yeah. I think more of the younger kids are going to respond to this than everybody, because like
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
good, to me, a really good animated film is when it's for everybody. Like, it's for everybody. Everybody can enjoy
God,
it.
it's
But
just a shame.
yeah, when this one, I think, is going to be more aimed so I think, not to say that I don't think some people are going to enjoy it. Like, I clearly, me watching it, I enjoyed watching this
Yeah.
movie. But I think you're going to, more of the positive responses are going to be coming from the kids on this one. That's what I think. But it'll still make money. And I'll tell you what else is making money is Wicked. Wicked just are you going to ever see
Wicked.com is making more money these days.
Wicked.com is definitely making money also, but Wicked just made some more kashish,
Yeah.
and it's going to be doing some more
Tell
stuff.
me about it, Kristian.
I'm going to tell you about it.
I'm just stalling for you.
That's fine. Here we go. Wicked sets the Monday box office record. Ahead of the arrival of the Moana sequel, the musical Wicked remains strong and on top of the U.S. box office with a reported 15.8 million box office haul. That makes the best Monday haul ever in November. Wow. Beating out Frozen 2, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Skyfall, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. After just 4 days, the film's domestic total is 128 million. The film's 3-day opening ended up being 112. By far the best haul for a Broadway musical turned film. The film made headlines again earlier today when it was officially confirmed by the studio that the film's stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were paid the same salary for their work on the film, contrary to reports that were trying to cause shit. Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2 did 5.5 million on Monday, bringing its 4-day take up to 60.6 million domestically. Moana 2 previews are now underway and ahead of what's expected to be a 135 million Thanksgiving 5-day opening. The original Moana grossed 2.6 million in Tuesday night previews before ahead of its Thanksgiving 5-day of 82. So it's going to be, and that's the other thing, is that even though, going back to the Moana side of it, is that even though this is not as beloved by critics like the first one was, my wife is taking my kids to see it. There's going to be families that are going to see this thing over and over and over again during the holidays. Families are going to flock to see this movie. And when they come out of it, they're not going to be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have spent the money on it. They're going to go, oh, I took the family to see it and we had a good time. And that was it. And that's why it'll make the money that it needs to. Now, Wicked, Roku thinks it's got a shot to make $1 billion. That might be tough, especially with Moana coming around the corner and these other things. It still has a shot to make a lot of money. I don't think $1 billion is going to do it, but it's got a shot.
It's still a musical, and I think the musicals have uphill battles
for $1 billion. Yeah, I don't know. $1 billion. Has there been
a lot of money?
I'm gonna ask the chat. Has any? I think I'm gonna say I think the answer is no, unless I can start thinking about it. Has there any musical ever made $1 billion?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice.
I mean, they could do it. I think it's going to do repeat business, and I think that this Monday is a indication that people are going back to see it, and that it does feel like an event for people, like that they want to see. It's like it has that thing.
They want to go sing in the theater and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, but they should. But I said that I think that is horrible. But I think that the one thing that is good about if they do sing along screenings, which they should do sing along screenings for it, make more money on it. You absolutely should.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have that culty kind of a thing where there'll be places popping up and going, hey, come to the sing along one.
Yeah. They said
I like that idea.
Lion King remake made the live action thing made $1 billion. Does that count as a musical? I guess kind of.
Wasn't that not as music filled as
it has? I mean, it's got Hakuna Matata and whatever.
I wouldn't call that a musical.
You can make the argument. But I would say more so it's like it's a retelling of a classic animated film if someone's going to argue with me that it's a musical, it's hard to. But when you think of pure musical, you don't think Lion King.
Yeah.
So
It's like musical is talk, 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 sing. I don't know if Wicked's like that, but I mean, musical is there's, you know, do you remember the old Norm Macdonald bit where he's
that's
like,
true. Someone said that Lion King does have a Broadway musical. It does. You can make the argument. You can make the I think it's cheating, but if someone says, you know, it counts as musical, you can't really argue with it. You can't really argue with it, but it's not what I'm talking about, like pure, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Talk, talk, sing, sing, sing.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
What I was saying is, you remember that Norm Macdonald sketch on SNL where he's like, where did you practice that song? Like they'd start singing in West Side. And he's like, you guys had dancing and everything. Like, did you get together ahead of time?
We'll see. Not
or
sure.
Just fart in the mic?
No, that's the chair. It's the chair. So I'm very curious to see what people are going to. I mean, look, the movies in general have bounced back, big.
Movies are back.
No,
baby.
I mean it's true. Roke and I talked about this on Monday. The box office is bouncing back, and there's even more. You got Sonic, the third one coming out. You got, speaking of Lion King, got Mufasa, and someone said that Lin-Manuel is actually doing the music for that, which is interesting.
Well, good, yeah. I mean, I'd say if smart money, if it's not too expensive, is get Lin-Manuel to write some music for you.
Yeah, and he's going to do it from Mufasa. But that's what I'm saying, is that Chapek was trying to cut corners in the way that they used to when was it Michael Eisen? What was his name? The guy that used to run the Disney back in the day. And he used to do his whole strategy was, let's take our popular movies and go direct to DVD with them and spend a quarter of the money and make a whole bunch in DVD sales. And the strategy worked, but
Would you say, like, even not having The Rock, like, do a different voice actor for that and then have Lin, if that was your choice?
Nah, you can't do, if they didn't have The Rock locked in and it was somebody else playing Maui and they already had said that, then they wouldn't have made it a theatrical movie.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't have. The Rock is is one of the big draws to that movie. If they were like, oh, it's a different voice doing Maui, it would hurt. It would hurt the box office for sure. And he's really good in the role, and he's good in what he's doing here too. It just, like I said, it just doesn't have that magic of the first one. And I think that's why, and that will, in the same way, look at Gladiator 2. Okay, Gladiator 2, both of these movies I feel the same for. There's certain magic about both of the first of these movies that the sequels didn't even come close to touching. The first Gladiator was this Oscar-winning deep dive character, just classic. Second one is just an epic sword and sandals battle. And some people, if you were expecting and you were hoping that it was going to be that exact thing, you're going to be really disappointed, so much so that you could probably be one of the people commenting on, that was terrible, hated it, because you're expecting a lot out of it, right? And Moana 2 could be that same thing, because this is a decent animated movie at best. And when you have a great movie like the first one, you're going to be bummed by it if it's just like, I saw some people writing after somebody out of the theater comments was like, I don't know what you're talking about, this is terrible. I said, you think it's terrible, he thinks it's terrible. I was watching it going, but I'm telling you that I did, and I never felt like this. I never feel like this in any movie when they're singing songs going, oh my God, can we just get to the story, get past the music? The first one, I'm like locked into each and every song. This one, I'm like, this song is not working. Next, what's the story? There's not one song that I can remember that hit that I was like, oh, this is good. The music was not good at all. Okay, so let's see. We have.
I didn't like that. Well, my name is Maui. I'm here to say I'm gonna rock this party in a rapping way.
They try to do that again, dude. They try to do Lin-Manuel, in the middle of the rap.
Yeah,
and you can tell. And I go, because I remembered when I went into it going, I'm pretty sure he didn't do the music for this. And then once the music started, I'm like, he definitely didn't do the music for this. And then they do one song where they're trying to do his style, and I'm like, this is you, no
Don't.
way. I'm like, there's no way he did this. And then I'm waiting. They didn't even tell you who the musical composers were until like the end because they didn't want.
Oh wow.
It was. I mean, like the end of the credits. I'm like sitting there
They'll
waiting.
never know it
They'll
wasn't
never
him.
know. They're not broadcasting it that he's not coming back. They're not broadcasting his new composers. They're just like, yeah, and there's music in it, but The Rock's back. You know, that's kind of
Got that jazzy rap stuff in there.
yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to have an impact on the box office. It really isn't. It really isn't. Okay, last thing to talk about here, and that is Keira Knightley. You like the Keira Knightleys?
I do. I enjoy Keira Knightley.
Yeah. Oh, you said it was a little creepy there.
Well, no. I mean, is it creepy to enjoy the company of a female?
Did you
right that way?
Oh,
no.
yeah?
Pride and
Did you guys
Prejudice is
date?
my wife's favorite film. So is that Keira Knightley? Yeah, that's Keira
That's
Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Right? Yeah.
Well, Keira Knightley's got several Oscar nominations, and yet for some people, Keira Knightley will always be most remembered for her breakout role at 17 as Elizabeth Swann in The Pirates of the Caribbean. Was she only 17 when she did that?
17?
That's not true. Is that true? No way. Was she 17 when she did? No way.
I don't like that.
There's no way she was 17 when the Pirates of the Caribbean came out. Can somebody do a fact check on that? Luke, tell me I'm wrong again.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, 17. She because wasn't she like 14? Well, I guess maybe. How old was she when she did 19? What was it? The freaking Phantom Menace.
Shoot, I
don't know.
no idea.
Not sure. Anyway, well, she's essentially avoided franchise films since those movies. One rare exception being the widely panned Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Part of the reason for her stance and it ties back to her time working on the Pirates films. She said she was 17 in the first one. All right. Well, what are you going to do? Speaking with the Times, Knightley says with the fame from that franchise came a lot of criticism from the media regarding her appearance in the films, including unfounded speculation of an eating disorder. As a result, she has a strange relationship with those films. She says, it's a funny thing when you have something that was making and breaking you at the same time. I was seen as shit because of them, and yet because they did so well, I was given the opportunity to do films that I ended up getting Oscar nominations for. They were the most successful films I'd ever been part of, and they were the reason I was taken down publicly. So they're a very confused place in my head. The other reason is due to the work that comes with those giant films. Says the hours are insane. It's years of your life as well as lack of any control. You have no control of what you're filming, how long you're filming, what you're filming. Those first 3 Pirates movies were all major successes at the global box office. I got to tell you, Brett, I love this. I love this answer. I think it's a very honest answer. I think and all the way around, I think it's a very honest answer because, yes, I mean, and that was in 2004, whenever it was, when the internet was not as strong as it is now with social media and Twitter wasn't even a thing and all that. So she's probably it'd be even more so. I mean, look at the countless amount of Marvel, Star Wars, DC people who just quit social media in general after that stuff. It's like it's the scrutiny. It's unforgiving. So that I understand completely. The time of it, all that. Look, she's gotten herself into a place where she's also comfortable, where she's like, look, I don't need to do the big checks, and I don't need. I've got the money that I need. And I'm just going to do these movies that I like to do, because you're right. You don't have the same kind of creative freedom, and I'd much rather somebody be honest like that and say, hey, this is not something I love to do, and I didn't like how I was such in the spotlight and people were just picking me apart. I really enjoy doing these smaller things. I thought it was a super classy answer. I'm all for this answer.
Yeah, and I always find it refreshing when somebody says, I made good money. I'm gonna do what I want to do now. I remember Freddie Prinze Jr. When he was on a show with you and I, saying something. Yeah, my wife and I made a decent living. We decided to, live comfortably, raise our kids, and do only the things that we wanted to do projects. So I that's so refreshing as opposed to the I need a $96 million house.
Yeah, if she doesn't, if you don't enjoy it and it's not making you happy, and you can live comfortably, I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. And it's like and that's going back to the beginning of this conversation. It's why, like, when I tell you I wish I could talk to everybody, I want to talk to everybody. I'd love to have this conversation with her. I'd love to dive deep. The first thing I would open, I'd say, listen, before we even get into anything and talk about your new movie, there was a quote that you gave about why you don't do franchises. And I have to tell you, I loved it because of this. And then just you need to spawn off into that conversation and see where it goes. But like, I would love to talk to her. That would be great. Because that's, I mean, I always liked her. I like her so much more after that answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see her in more of those big movies, but if somebody doesn't want to do them, you know, it's like,
she just seems sweet, even in the, you know, the characters she's played. Like there doesn't seem like an ickiness to her, I guess.
Right. And maybe it's because of answers like that. You know, maybe it's a little more grounded. All right, Brett, here we go. Moment of truth. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, hit me.
All right, here we go. So we're starting. You need to get to 83, I think, in order to beat Roka. Let me double check that because I screenshotted his what he did the other day. 81. Ooh. Okay, so you need to do 81. So that means you need 51 more by the time we end. So we're starting at 30. Can you guys get Brett to his first and end? If you win, then that would put Roxy as the only person to never win solo.
Ooh.
And never win. Roxy's never won. You won once, didn't you?
No, you didn't with Steph or something. No, I don't think I have. No, I almost did.
Did you? I thought you might have won with Steph. I don't know. Either one. You didn't. I mean, let's call it what it is. It was probably Steph that got the driving, but this time 30. I'm impressed with the start, Brett. I'm impressed with the start.
It's good.
All right. Good. So starting here, Lord of the Rings, War of Rohan premieres in 2 weeks on 12/13, but tickets are not available anywhere near me in Dallas yet. What gives? Screams in Urukai. I don't know, but like I said, I can't talk about it too much yet because the social embargo hasn't even dropped. But I will tell you, as soon as the tickets do go on sale, see it. And that's all I can say about that. But I'm sure that they're going to go on sale soon enough. Remember, it doesn't come out, like you said, it doesn't come out until the 13th. I know there isn't. I'd like to see them give this a bigger push, but I do think that they're going to put it up for best animated film. I don't know if it's going to win, but I think they're going to put it up for it for sure.
That's my answer too.
Good. Mike Joyce, who says, anyone else like the sides more than turkey? Me. I'm not a big turkey guy. Like there was one time, Brett, that we went to Sadie's friends, and her friend's husband. He doesn't like me to call him a chef because he's an ex-chef, but he's a brilliant chef, and he did like this smoked turkey, which was the best turkey I've ever had to this day. It was so freaking good. I don't like turkey normally. I like the mashed potatoes overflowing with the butter and the gravy and the vegetables in it and stuffing. That's what I go for that more so.
Yeah, I love the sides as well, but I cook the turkey, so I've had some accolades some years. Some years I've gotten a little too experimental, but the best years that I can't do anymore is the deep fried turkeys because the oil just got too damn expensive.
Yeah.
But those were delish.
Really, really good. Okay, Ewok. Ringo Starr said that Barry Keoghan will play him in Sam Mendes' 4 Beatles film, confirming Jeff Schneider's report that the film would star Harris Dickinson, Paul Mescal, Charlie Rowe, and Barry Keoghan. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said this yesterday, Snyder doesn't just make things up. He finds things out. He doesn't just make it up. He finds things out and then he posts it and he does his research on it. So I would say it's probably accurate. Is a Beatles biopic something you'd be interested in? Brett, are you Beatles or Stones guy?
I like them both. I'm not like fanatical about either one, but they are legends.
Yeah.
But I say if I had to pick Beatles,
see, I picked the Stones. Jedi Master for life. A Kristian and Brett show. Hold up. I'm going to grab some Via. Smart. Very smart. You got to get the Via, dude. If not, get it for a gift. I'm not even kidding you. Regardless, let's pretend the cameras are off. It is like, even I was walking around the city and just had my Via with me. Oh, what an experience.
I found the sleep stuff I like the most. I like just to go sleep. And I don't, I heard like melatonin, you shouldn't take tons of melatonin and stuff like that. So,
Go Pie says, hey. Is it Go Pal? I always say Go Pie. Go Pal. Sorry, Go Pal. Summer Garden.
Hoping I like Go Pie. Keep it to Go Pie.
Well, he can tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's Go Pal, and I keep saying Go Pie. Hoping to see this go off the rails. Brett's looking subdued so far. Yeah, Brett, why haven't you gone off the rails? What do you got, the gas?
Well, when I don't have like Roxy or Steph here, to bring it back in.
Mhm.
I feel like I have to keep it on the rails. I'm sorry. I felt like I needed
Watch our
to be
Mrs. Garrett.
engaging.
Watch our Mrs. Garrett episode and see if that's the
Yeah,
case.
yeah. It was yeah, it's just one of those days. Sometimes
is.
you can't fake those
Nah, you
moods.
can't fake them. Like, trust me, Brett. So I think the way it's going to work, moving on, Brett and I have been texting about this. I think what we're going to do is Mondays will be the Roca show. Tuesdays will be the Roxy show. Wednesday will be the Brett show. I'm going to fucking put this fly is still coming around here. He's been fucking around in this studio for the last 2 days.
You need that. Oh, I don't think you took it with you. Those little traps we had with the fan.
Oh, I think I got the little fucker.
There we go.
I got him. So Wednesday will be the Brett show. Thursday will be the Steph and potentially Mike show. Mike will kind of be, he's still there. And then Friday will be Capes and Cowls. And, you know, sometimes Wednesdays will be interview shows and things of that nature, but we're going to look at it that way because I do miss those kind of really crazy, chaotic shows. And I feel that because we got to get on track on Tuesdays sometimes with TV and all that, that doesn't allow us to really branch off and do that. So I'm going to bring Brett back on Wednesdays, and he and I are going to have kind of the goofball type show for sure. Armada. Brett, this is a question we've been getting all week. Would you rather see Andrew Dice Clay play Jeff Snyder or Jeff Snyder play Andrew Dice Clay?
Ooh, that's tough.
I don't think it's as tough as you think it is.
Andrew Dice Clay play Snyder.
Easy. Hey, you got a scoop for me? I'm reporting that Barry Keoghan is playing one of the fucking Beatles.
Hey, look at the sunglasses guy. Hey, twins.
You want to take a picture?
Best.
Yeah, the best.
Best Instagram.
Did you see the one where someone turned me on to this one? It was he was chasing around Jerry Seinfeld in Central Park, and Jerry Seinfeld didn't know it was him. And he's like, "Oh, big shot comedian! Look at the big shot! Hey, big shot!" And Jerry's just like going 100 miles an hour trying to get away from him. And so finally he goes, "Hey, Jerry, it's Dice." And then the next is like a quick shot of them taking a picture, like laughing. It's pretty funny. Unknown. Really enjoyed Wicked, and I usually don't like musicals. I disagree on Ariana Grande's acting. I thought her performance was the weakest part of the film. Yeah, we are on a different side. Dude, Ariana Grande is brilliant in this film. She reminded me, you'll appreciate this reference. I was saying she reminded me of like Madeline Kahn in this.
Oh wow.
I didn't have any
high accolades.
Yes. I didn't have any opinion of Ariana Grande going into this. I was like, I was so focused on her. Like, she was just eating the scenery. I thought she was to me, she's I couldn't agree with, if Unknown and I were going to debate, we would debate hard because I thought she was by far the star of the movie for sure. Okay, let's see. Armada. Would y'all make a comedy from your experience at CPK? I mean, I think it would all kind of play like what was that? Waiting, is that the one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was fun. It was, about the guys that did the. Oh, what's his name?
Dan
Adam
Cook,
Scott.
Ryan Reynolds. No. Adam Scott was that one too. No, the one with Justin. What the hell was what's his name? Just a shit.
Well, the one I'm talking about was that was about catering company, and that was a great show.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we could do a TV comedy about it. I'm not sure. Like we would. I have an idea that there's something that I've been working on with even Martini, who's at my but her and I've been working on something, and it's something that when I get to a place, then we'll start bringing it out to the audience when it's ready. Because I think we might do the whole crowdfunding thing. I don't know yet, just to shoot the pilot. I don't know yet. We gotta get the script strong enough. I have no idea. But I will tell you this, Brett, is that I noticed because I guess Christmas holiday, I got a whole bunch of Instagram. And let me address the audience here too, because Brett also knows this too. And I'm glad that I was able to remember this because I would have been mad. So I just put this whole newsletter out to both the patrons and the new members today. And I was kind of giving my thanks and being thankful to them. And I want to give you guys the overall same for people who are not members or not patrons, people who haven't put super chats in, people who do put super chats in, whatever it might be. Thank you guys so much. We're very thankful for you guys for being here every day, once a day, once a month, whatever it is, whatever you're doing to tune in with us. I cannot tell you how thankful I am for you guys, for the fact that you come in here to chat, get your news from us, laugh with us, whatever it might be. And I am consistently humbled by a lot of your generosity in general, with whether it's your thoughts, your time. And then recently, there was a lot of stuff that was bought on that Amazon list, and we put that up there just kind of like, hey, we'll put these things up there. We'll get to them eventually. And there's literally, Brett, 2 things left on the list right now.
Oh, wow.
There are 2 things left on the list right now. And there's the table that eventually I'm going to replace.
Oh, yeah.
Table.
You never told me about the color of the table. Did you?
I changed it. I changed it to black.
Okay, yeah, I like
black.
that better.
But it's that and one other thing are left on that list, and that's because
when you sent that to me, I was like, no,
I couldn't believe it. I looked up and I said, wait a minute. I said because I was getting messages from people going, hey, I tried to get something off the list and there's nothing, and is this the right list? And I'm like, oh, maybe it's the link hasn't been working.
Which reminds me, and this, I just want to address the audience.
Yeah.
I posted my daughter's Christmas wish list.
Stop that. But I am very
She
thankful.
made a PowerPoint, bro.
Did she really?
That's where I'm at in my.
Absolutely
she made
hilarious.
a PowerPoint for her.
Did
Christmas
she really?
wish.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mad Sinister McCall. Christmas movies that you love and hate. My favorite are Die Hard, Terrifier 3, and Wonderful Life. I hate Polar Express. Rather have my eyes plucked out by crows. I don't hate that movie.
She's creepy looking.
Yeah, Home Alone is my favorite Christmas story.
Oh.
My favorite. Die Hard, absolutely. And I'm with you that I would argue that it is absolutely a Christmas movie. Hate Christmas movies. I hate any Christmas movie that shits on Christmas and Santa. Any Christmas movie that like it's horror Christmas and horror Santas and shit like that.
Bad Santa.
No, Bad Santa. Yeah,
that was enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. No, the sequel not so much, but the first one for sure. Yeah, no. I like Bad Santa. But do you have movies that you love and hate?
Favorite is Lampoon's Christmas. I could watch that one over and over again. And then I just don't like those classic ones. I find them boring, like Miracle on 34th and what's the one?
Wonderful
the
Life.
Angel. Yeah, that one is.
Yeah. Can't do it. Yeah. DUI champ. Hey team. When a film production has a role that calls for an actor to be homely or ugly or obese, how does a casting agent sensitively advertise that casting call? Ugly people wanted. I think they probably go heavier set is probably what they say. Heavier set, and then they probably in the description has had a rough life, has done this, has done that. And then
looks rough.
Yeah, life has been tough. Like as opposed to
I'll give you an example. I had, it was one of my favorite little lines for something I auditioned for. It said, "This guy definitely doesn't know much about the gym." Or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Things like that. So it's more so now like we're looking for an out of shape slob.
Not a fan of salads.
Right. Yeah, someone who doesn't have long left on the earth. Mike Joyce, how would Brett solve inflation? Brett, that's a great question. And you're at 43, buddy. You got about you need about 40. You need about 40 easy. To take out our Roca.
Solve inflation. Oh, I don't. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to just say wish in one hand and fart in the other.
That's fair. Let me give you an easier one. Mike Joyce says, "How would Brett bring peace to the Middle East?"
Just by going in there and going with a bunch of hippie type actors and just telling them, guys.
Yeah, you say stop this.
Stop, and then singing like Imagine.
With a bunch of celebrities. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mike Joyce, how would Brett handle first contact with aliens?
I'd call Kristian immediately. Yeah. I'd be like, "Hey, bro, there's one right behind me, isn't it?"
Yes. Armada, Brett, ask Kristian about the releasing.
Kristian, tell me about the releasing.
Well, when I was talking about trailer reactions the other day, and I said instead of I reacted to it, I told Steph that I released to a trailer. So
that's nice.
That'll be good. Thank God there's no HR. Jason Crosby, hot take. I think the first Gladiator movie is garbage. How dare you? I can't stand a historical based movie being inaccurate to history. Braveheart falls into this as well. Again, I say, how dare you, sir? Yeah, there's certain things that are inaccurate, and I think that I understand the argument though too. It's like, hey, if you're gonna make a historical thing, people are gonna think all this shit is real. What are you doing? And I counter that by going, yeah, but it's a good movie. Like
Agreed.
Gladiator and Braveheart are just good movies, and there's a lot of different things that are wrong about Braveheart in general, and even jokes on it, because William Wallace was apparently like almost like 6.5, 7 feet tall or whatever the hell he was, and they talk about it in that one scene. They're like, yeah, William Wallace I heard, and if he was here, he could consume the English with lightning bolts from his eyes and thunderbolts from his ass, whatever he says. Anyway, PLD, who just said, I can't let Roka win. Now this fly is like just zooming. Like, that's why I hate flies. I hate flies because like spider comes in. If you see a spider, it just like it's on the wall, and you see it, it's like, oops, I'm not supposed to be here, and it freezes, and it tries to get out of the way. A fly just goes like, yeah, I'm here, motherfucker. What are you gonna do? And it's like you open the door or you open the window for the fly, and the fly still just buzzes around your face. It's like, well, now you're dead.
Unfortunately, they're a necessary evil.
I know. I hate them though. I hate flies.
Mosquitoes, I don't know because they don't have another purpose.
Do you remember the old studio, the mosquitoes when they were coming in?
That was the worst.
Eaten up.
That's why I bought that little fan thing. I'll put one of those on the list because I think that got left behind.
Mark Zink, how much is the Roadcaster? I miss Big Balls. Well, don't fret, because I think he might be returning sooner than later. Yeah, like I said, there's only 2 things left in that Amazon list right now, and I can't believe it. The Nerd Gen report. Respectfully, in order to get some excitement for Hulk, Ruffalo needs to be replaced. The current Hulk is a Hawaiian shirt wearing joke. Well, I mean, I don't disagree that they need to get away from what they're doing now with the science Hulk and all that. They got to get away from that. They got to go back to Rage Hulk. But the question is, can they get Ruffalo there? If they can, then maybe he's got some more in the tank. I'm happen to be with you that I think that, and as I told Brett, I think they should recast the whole damn thing. Jedi Master for life. Will you try to do reactions for One Piece Season 2? I love the Season 1 reactions. Also, are you watching the series free of any spoilers from the anime? Yeah, I'm not watching the anime at all. I'm just watching the live action series, and I will be doing reactions for Season 2. When
did that come out? I'm excited about that.
Did you watch Season 1?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to tell you right now. One Piece Season 2 premiere date is...
And did the anime fans take it well, or was it?
Yeah,
they
dug it. They dug it.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, because I still talk about it to this day. It's my out of any fan base, because I had PTSD from Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Yeah. The fan bases are terrible. Like if you don't know what you're talking about, if you don't like it, people. And speaking of, by the way, and to go back to that, I will, because you mentioned something before, and I wanted to talk about it. You mentioned Robert Eiler. Man, people are dicks. Like, I posted a short from that interview, and it was, I don't know, we posted it a while ago, but for some reason it caught on. It's got almost like 1 million views now, right? But I keep getting comments on it. Every other comment is just, and it's not a lot of our, it's not our subscribers. It's clearly not. It's just people who are finding the clip. Every other clip or comment, or even maybe 4 out of 5 comments, are people just shitting on this poor dude, like just being, and it's about him talking about him getting sober, how he got sober, and people just being dicks, like such complete losers, like going after this guy. And he was, and after time, maybe I'm a little bit more
personally, or did that they didn't like his character?
Both. They just I can't,
because his character wasn't supposed to be likable.
No,
he was supposed to be a shitty teenage kid.
I said to Luke at one point, I'm like, are you noticing how horrible people are being to this poor guy?
Yeah.
And it's like you might as well thought he was Diddy. It was like I can't believe it. Every other comment is them just going after this dude, and I was like, is this the same person that I talked to? This was like one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to in my life.
Oh yeah.
And it just shows you like the disconnect of people not understanding, because I guarantee you 80% of the people who are giving him shit, if they sat down and have a conversation with him, they would change their tune real quick. But they judge him off of what they think they know about him. And it's like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how, I you can go to the thing and look, and I can't imagine I cleaned up all of them, but a lot of them went to spam because I did a lot of cleanup
Yeah.
work, and I try to delete as many as possible, but not even here, though. I posted it on Facebook also, and the same shit. It's like YouTube and Facebook just nailing this poor dude, but I don't even think he pays attention to it. Anyway, so yes, I will be watching One Piece season 2. The fan base was wonderful, is the point I was getting to with that. They're really, really nice. And I loved doing those. I was a show that I didn't in a million years think that I would like. And I shouldn't say I didn't think I would like it. I didn't think it was geared towards me, and I still don't. But I can tell you that I loved it. I love that show. Also, are you watching the series for any spoilers? Yeah. I'm just gonna be watching. I'm not gonna watch any anime stuff from it. Scott Cross. I got stuck seeing Red One with the family instead of Gladiator over the weekend. I hate the holidays. Still forced my wife to see Gladiator though. 9 out of 10. Yeah, see, he liked it. You're not gonna see anything in the theater, huh, Brett?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
too much people.
Not been a bit, but again, I do love it when I do.
Yeah, you like to go.
It's just something I gotta get back into, I believe, because I forget, honestly, Kristian, I forget that I can leave my children at home and that they have, my son can drive now. These are things that it's I'm trying to train myself back into realizing I'm basically a young single guy again.
Go to the movies. Go to the movies.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go get yourself the AMC pass and go and go. You know what? Go like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And go see a movie by yourself. It's the best. The Nerd Gen Report. Paul Mescal's Wolverine. I love the casting, but if you look at his interview that he just did with Josh Horowitz, he doesn't look like he wants to be anywhere near Marvel. And that's he almost gave the same kind of answer that Keira Knightley gave. He doesn't want anything to do. Wow. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So I don't think that will happen, but I think it's good casting.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be the new anything in that franchise? That's going to be a tough one.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be. But remember, there has never been a Wolverine in the MCU. Well, I guess because he was in Deadpool and Wolverine, he's officially an MCU Wolverine. But
yeah,
there's never been a full-on X-Men recast in the MCU yet. There's never been X-Men MCU. There's never been Fantastic Four MCU. So they have a lot of opportunity. Mad Sinister McCall. My favorite moment is when you guys roasted Rob Zombie. That was the best.
That's a watch along that we thought was going to go viral.
We thought it was going to do really well. Why is your camera blurry, by the way? What's happening?
I don't know. I was noticing that it's not blurry on my end.
It's blurry on our end.
I wonder if it's something.
I don't know. It doesn't look good. Anyway.
No, mine is like. Well, I mean, it's blurry in my. I'm always blurry in the preview window, but never in my own. And I think that what they're getting is not blurry. Ask them.
We'll see. Either way,
blurry.
I thought that. I'm telling you that he definitely saw what we did, and he probably hates us. And that's the one time if someone goes, "Hey, you want to interview Rob Zombie?" I'm like, "No, absolutely not, absolutely not." He's like, because I don't think I'd come out of the interview alive. Christopher Regalado, with the success of Wicked, I stand by that Hamilton is completely unadaptable into movie. Can you imagine people of color being casted as the founding fathers in a realistic America in 1776? The right would riot. I don't think they'd riot the same way that you think. I don't think that they, because this play has already done this. It's already an established thing, and I don't agree. I mean, they put it on Disney Plus. They redid it and they put the play on Disney Plus, and it had record numbers. So I think the way they
did it was great. I don't think it needs to be.
I don't think it needs to be a movie, but I don't agree that it couldn't be turned into a movie, and I definitely don't agree that people would say, because if this was just a reimagined movie that they came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, guess what? We're doing a movie based on the founding fathers, and we're doing it this way," yes, and people would probably there'd probably be that Little Mermaid conversation all over again, right? But I don't think that is the case when it comes to Hamilton, because Hamilton is an established property. It's an established play. It's already happened. They're just taking from what they did at the stage, and they're going to do it. It's not like, oh, now they're doing this. Like, yeah, but that's what they did on Broadway. So no, I don't agree with that, but I don't necessarily think that they need to do the movie. Armada, head, shoulders, knees, and toes Now you know.
Yep.
Do I even have that? Let me see if I even have, I don't even know if I have that anymore. Do I have it? Let's see. Somewhere. Yep, I do have it, Brett. You ready? Brett, you know, his focus is out, and that's okay, because he doesn't need to shout. He's Brett, he's okay to say. Now you know he's gonna save the day. Oh, everybody here, everybody there. I guarantee you Brett's in his underwear saying, now you know, steal the show. I used to watch the wrestling show, Glow. Now you know. Thank you so much, Charles. It's nice to see you.
Did I fix it?
Yeah, I think so.
It was on, the setting was balanced.
Right, so it was you. So you did do it. All right, Armada. Wow. Remember when you guys on SEN were asking where the poon went during the pandemic? They don't have them in the grocery store. Is that something you and I did?
Poon storm.
I don't remember anything. I really don't.
Yeah, that was, well, and you gotta, then it was like we were doing the live show 5 days a week from my bed. And I was just like, I couldn't tell you half the stuff I did that time. 2 hours a day, I'd roll out of bed, do the show, and then go play video games in my underwear.
Yep. Yeah. SEN was a different time at that point. It's like the same, and that was the same thing, right? It's like that we were doing all the studio shows and having everybody in every day, and it was a lot of fun. And then the same thing, pandemic hit that in the nuts too. But that show, yeah, it's always hindsight, right? It's like to the same thing. You know what it is, Brett? There's something. No, you know what it is with your focus. Your hand is in focus, but your body, but your.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah, I think it's.
But I'm telling you, in my preview window, I'm completely 4K focused. It's weird, and I have a more bandwidth. Is everybody saying that I'm unfocused?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm going through all the super chats. Armada, Kristian, you should pop up on a board TV a board TV. Above board TV. Yeah. They've never asked, not a once. Well, they've never asked me.
I'm waiting. We've talked about, like, if you were back in LA. I mean, I wouldn't want you to do the podcast remotely. We're not really set up.
Travis flies you into Germany. You can't fly me in.
Well, I'll see what he'll do.
Yeah.
If he just flies you and doesn't pay you, would you?
I mean, I don't know where I'd stay. If he puts me up,
stay with me. Stay in Blake's bed. Kick him out. Put him on the couch.
But no, if you put me up, you know what I would do?
Actually, you know what I would do? No, we have I hate to brag, but we have a house that is owned by the owner of this company that's right down the road that you could stay at. It's where Leaf stays. Yeah.
You do that. You also tell him, hey, you fly him out, you put him up. He'll not only come and do the show, he'll help with the channel for the week.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I like it.
Mad Sinister McCall. Thoughts on spinach and asparagus? You like the greens? Yeah, I do like asparagus, and I do like spinach actually very much.
Both of those.
Yeah, I like both of those. You know what? Asparagus is great with steak.
Oh,
great with steak.
Hey. Yeah, but you got to cook it right.
Yeah, it's true. Screwface John is here. Now that Wicked made a lot of money, if Snow White also makes a lot, do you still think that controversial tweets, statements have a big effect on a movie's bottom line in a major way? Very, very different. Very different depending on the circumstance in general, right? So Cynthia Erivo's, there's a lot of difference there, because I think there was that one thing that she said, she apologized for it also, and then it kind of quietly went away. No one's talking about it anymore. It's not like Cynthia Erivo consistently goes out and is saying things. Rachel Ziegler has now been, whether you like her or don't like her, she has now been a staple for people to either defend or attack. And I think that I still stand by. What's that?
Oh, I was trying to fix something.
You didn't fix it. You made it worse. What are you doing over there? You're like playing. It's like Simon Pegg playing with stuff in the. You know
room. What it did? It logged me in twice.
Oh, and that's what
that was cool. Hey guys, you don't get this on regular shows.
No, this is it. This is the show. But I think that I feel like it depends. I'm very curious to see, but I guess that's your question though. Is let's see how Snow White does. But Snow White also got a brand behind it. But I also wonder. Because there's always the counter of saying, okay, let's say that Snow White makes $500 million. you could make the argument, well, would have made it 600 if she wasn't tweeting and saying what she was going to say. You know, I don't think that the Cynthia Rivos thing, I think that it was handled well on PR side. I think she handled it well, and it went away. People made a big stink about it for like a week, and then it went away. Rachel Ziegler continues to do new tweets, so we'll see. But no, I think sometimes it has an effect, and I think sometimes it doesn't have an effect at all, is the answer to that. Okay, Brett, you're 49 with a half an hour left. 49. You can beat Roca with around 32 new questions. Can they get you
time
there?
for a sponsor so I can pee or no?
No, there's no more sponsors today. Sorry. You tell the guy he's got to buckle in. He wants to pee. Pete Parker, 2288. Is it a smart idea to release Nosferatu on Christmas? I can't see many families rushing out for a dark vampire movie. I think Mufasa will be huge. Remember, Nosferatu, what did it cost? Someone tell me in the chat. Actually, I'll look for it right now, and I'll see if they even have a Nosferatu. I bet you the budget is 50 million to 60 million. Nosferatu budget. Doesn't say. But someone says it's going to be like potentially $20 to $25 million budget, which is probably what it was. I just always go higher because I feel like people overspend. But let's say 25 million. Putting it out at that time, counter programming, and to do that, I don't think it's a mistake. No, because if it was, if it was a big horror movie at $100 million, then yeah, I think it would be a mistake. But no, not at that time. And Mufasa will be huge. It's tracking pretty big. Then we still have that argument. What we think is going to do better, Sonic 3 or Mufasa? I don't think it's an argument.
Mufasa.
I think Mufasa is going to be the clear winner. But we'll see. Armada. I think that Lin was making a Warriors musical at the time, and that's what he was busy on and didn't do Moana 2. I think that was part of it. But here's the thing, though, too. At that time, when Bob Chapek is making it, he said, hey, well, Lin's not available at that time. All right, we don't want to spend the money on him anyway. Let's get somebody else to do it. As opposed to, well, let's wait until he's available. That's what you do. You just, because there was no rush on it. If it was a movie, there would have been a rush on it. The movie is like, okay, hey, we got it. We want to get it out at this time. But the counter to that also is, okay, we're not putting this movie together unless we lock in Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he needs this time in order to do it. If it's a series, you go, okay, well, he's not available at that point. We need him. Let's find out when he's available, and we'll move around. Yeah. They didn't want to spend the money on him. So I completely agree that, or believe, I should say, that he was not available and working on that stuff. But if they really wanted him, they would have made it work.
You can be available. Yeah.
Now, if they do a third one, which I think that they will, and I think that they'll probably almost want to make it up, because I think they understand what. I don't think they're clueless with it. I think they knew that the quality is going to dip a little bit from what they were doing. I think that they're going to make a third, and I think Lin-Manuel will return for the third one.
They'll call it Lin-Manuel's Moana.
You're right, the return of Lin. Tat Ronan, 9101.
Hey.
Back. Best of luck to the both of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Joey Pedras. Loving Harrison Ford and Shrinking. I gotta finish the series. Did you finish?
I haven't finished it either.
Gotta finish it. Favorite Ford dramatic role outside of Solo and Indy. I don't know if that counts. Shrinking, because I love him in Shrinking. I said some of the best work he's done in a very long time.
Mosquito Coast.
Really, really good. I mean, The Fugitive.
Yeah.
The Fugitive. I have to go through a lot of the different ones that he's done, but like this, it's Presumed Innocent. Tons of movies. But those are the ones that stand out for sure. He would have been great in Private Ryan. Mm-hmm. Really good in that. But I think he was a little older still at that point. Robert Wilde. Brett looks like Bradley Whitford in Get Out to me. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bradley Whitford, good actor.
I just checked. I don't usually pull up the show, but I checked. I'm not blurry.
Okay, don't brag. Benny. Hey guys, I didn't like the new Gladiator film. I thought the two twins ruined the film for me. I love Denzel, but I didn't like his performance. Fair. I thought that one of the twins was good, and then one of the twins not great.
Mm-hmm.
But
you
Denzel,
tell them apart.
No, you could in this one. Denzel was Denzel, but he was fun. He was having a good time. Pete Parkel, sure, or Pete Parker. Yeah, sure. Can we get Evil John Madden to host with Roca? We'd be canceled within a week.
Yeah.
He was on a bender too, that guy. 49. Come on, you can get him, get Brett to 50. Hey, Clay Titus. Hey, Brett, you little fart muffin.
What's up?
You're looking like someone stole your beef, you sweet biscuit ass. What do you think of The Godfather Part 2, bitch? That's my favorite super chat that I've ever read. Ever. Can I read that again?
Yeah, listen here, jerky.
Listen, I'm going to read it again. Hey, Brett, you little fart muffin. You're looking like someone stole your beef, you sweet biscuit ass. What'd you think of The Godfather Part 2, bitch?
Listen here, pepperoni nipples.
That is my favorite super chat. I'm going to screenshot that.
I've got to be honest. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen The Godfathers in their entirety ever. It's one of those ones where I think I've just seen clips of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, now that we're doing these, you know what? I'll tell you what. You are going to be here in January. We should do a few movies when you're here. Maybe that's one of them.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Just to discuss business, I think it would have to be like the second or third week, most likely.
I mean, just
not the first, but the second.
When you're ready to
pull the trigger, yeah.
I got to talk. We will connect you and Matt. Benny, any updates on the Scorsese Sinatra film? No, they've been like all over the place. Where he said he still wants to do it, but they don't know. It's like all over the place. Last we heard, Tom Hanks, Chicago Bears head coach looks like Brett. Getting a lot of looks like Brett here today.
Hey,
yeah. No, this was hilarious. Did you see this? I did see this. Did you see the Dice post of calling a bald guy egg yolk in the airport? You guys bring me so much joy. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Ramona. I did see that. Did you see it?
He's the best. Yeah.
You did see that post? Oh, it was so good.
He's so
egg
good.
Yolk.
He's the way he reinvented himself in that Instagram.
Easily because he's not he doesn't use his ego to be like he goes against it. Like he knows people don't know who he is.
Self-deprecating.
Yes.
You want to? Whether you're the one that
wants the picture, and nobody knows who he is. And he's like, and it's the best. It's the best. And like and I did see one where someone did know who he was, and he actually took the picture with them. That was hilarious. His Instagram is next level. Pete Parker 2288. I'm thankful for this show. Happy Turkey Day. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. It's so funny. Someone said Derek Johnson bought the entire Amazon list. He didn't. He did not, actually. And I'm gonna read. And when we get everything, I'm gonna read off everybody who sent in their thank you notes and all that stuff too. I'm gonna read that on after Thanksgiving. Pete Parker 2288. A great newer Christmas movie is Violent Night. Oh yeah, that's the one with Hopper from Stranger Things. I started watching it and I liked it. I know why I never finished it.
That was the one where you got the ridiculous promo for it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I'll tell you who sent a great promo package this Christmas was A24.
Oh, they've got good stuff.
They all the movies that they have is great too, but they a whole bunch of like and stuff that like there was that from the We Live in Time, because in the movie Florence Pugh is a chef, and they sent a timer, a baking and cooking timer.
Oh, nice.
And it's got Andrew Garfield's face on it. It's hilarious. It's like there's like a bunch of different things they sent that was just awesome. Really, really good. Benny, hey Brett, I love your laugh, bro. It gets me every time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a pretty good laugh.
I don't like it.
You don't like your laugh? Oh
no,
dude.
It's always kind of, I don't know.
Oh really, dude? You got a great laugh. You got a great laugh. I was even when that helped me in some of our great rants that we've had.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many times I've watched them back, and it's your laugh that gets me like to the next joke, and then watching like you are. Like, I will say this: if you guys have never looked at the playlist that we have called "Things That Made Us Lose It" or "Things That Made Us Laugh," please go and check that out. There's the Peg Boys one still gets me to this day. I go back and watch the Peg Boys one. That was when you said shows that they're open for business, killed me. Open for business. What a great line. Open for business. It was so good. Peg Boys was the best. And then, yeah, Mrs. Garrett to this day. Oh, hey, you got to whip me, Mrs. Garrett. You know, hey, Brett, I was wondering, we didn't really talk too much about Tootie.
Yeah, it was Tootie.
She's a real piece of work between her and Lisa Turtle, I'll tell you. Yeah. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy in the bathroom.
Blair Dubois.
Give me Blair. I saw an Instagram post where Blair was talking about God not believing in it. And Joe punched her right in the mouth. Natalie was shocked. Did you ever see that clip?
No,
It's true. It's a true clip. I've seen it recently. I don't know what she said. She's like, if God's real, then tell me. And Joe just punches her right in the face.
Oh, wow.
And then and Natalie's in the back like, it's great. Major Mucus.
Hey,
Turkey, ham, or your favorite food for Thanksgiving dinner? Happy Thanksgiving. I mean, if we're not talking about the sides, I'd prefer turkey over. I mean, I'm telling you, if I could have somebody make that smoked turkey every year, I'd have that. So good.
Yeah, turkey and then cheesy corn grits. It's my buddy Leaf's thing he's been making for our Friendsgiving for the last 25 years.
Yeah. Major Mucus says, would you ever have Big Balls over for Thanksgiving dinner? I would, because he would know how to behave. But would you, Brett? Probably not, right?
100%, but Rocks would not.
No, Rocks wouldn't. But, Big Balls would probably just be hitting on Lonnie the whole time.
Yeah, that's the tough thing.
Yeah.
Is get out of here.
Yeah. Mad Sinister McCall. Why is physical media pricey if everyone streams? You just answered the question.
Yeah.
Because
supply and demand.
Yeah, because not enough people are buying them. Jedi Master for Life. Oh, please, can we get Kristian and Brett reaction series for One Piece sponsored by Via? I really hope this series continues to catch the heart of the anime. If it does, get ready to cry some more man tears. I mean, I don't know how long we're going to have Brett in studio for, and One Piece doesn't come out until the end of next year. So I can't do virtual.
Yeah,
it doesn't work the same way. I got to have people in studio in order to do it. So, all right. Again, you got 50. I don't know, Brett. You got 50 is a good run. I'm proud with it. That's a good run. You got 50. Yeah. I don't think you're going to touch Roka. You got 15 minutes to beat Roka, but still. And Galaxy Geeks did at 224 did say it was blurry, so you were wrong about that.
Really?
Yes. GoPal says, I'm getting a bunch of emails saying that my order was canceled. Don't know what that's about. And yes, that's an L in my name. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm getting a bunch of emails saying my order was canceled. What does he mean?
The Via order or
is that what you mean?
Or Amazon?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Sorry, sure. GoPie. You've called him GoPie.
GoPal.
This is a regular chatter that you said called GoPie.
So now you're calling him that. I don't know what he's talking about. Hopefully he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. He'll probably let us know. Okay, so now we are at. Oh, Gopal says, what's a movie that you love but puts you to sleep? The Thin Red Line knocked me out twice, once in the middle of the afternoon. I try not to watch movies that are going to put me to sleep, because at the second, what I'm doing, if I'm watching a movie and I start to, it can be any movie. If I'm at a certain time period and I just start drifting off, I'm like, oh, it's not the time to watch. I like to try to finish everything that I'm watching. So there's not a movie that really puts me to sleep. Do you have one, Brett?
Shawshank.
Really?
Just the Andy Dufresne. Like that. That when he's talking and narrating, that's like so soothing. But I mean, again, I don't think I would, but I feel so calm. And then probably like Field of Dreams might. That seems very wispy and quiet.
Yeah. It's almost like when you're beaking out.
Yeah, beacon.
Hey, beacon. When was the last time you beaked?
Beaked out.
I was beaking. I was beaking in the bushes the other day. I think that's it, Brett. So, there's one more. Okay. Oh, there we go. Gopal says one of the super chat receipts saying it was canceled. I understand. Well, that one was not, my friend, and because of that, Brett, you hit 51, and I think that's pretty damn good, my friend, considering there's no Steph. Going after a big heavyweight like Roka, pretty damn good. So I'm impressed with what you did here too. Now it's up to the Capes and Cowls crew running in tomorrow themselves to beat Roka. I think they have a shot to do it. But what do you got going on with Above Board?
Please, we've got 3 episodes out right now of Middle-Aged Weekend. That's the one I've been talking about forever, where we built the Mad Max car to take to Wasteland Weekend in the desert. And then I have the Everything's a Game podcast. Things are happening, folks, and soon
Good.
I'm hoping to have something that's my own. We're just still working on studio type stuff.
What do you mean, like making your own show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to use this whenever it's not being used. I have this beautiful studio to use for my own liking. So someday I will actually do that.
Nerds Engaged says happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks for all. So Brian O'Neill says that we missed a chat from him. So let me see if I can find it before we sign off. Let me see if I can find a Brian O'Neill one. So tell me a little bit more about what you guys going on as I look for Brian's thing.
Yeah, the Wasteland one is one I'm really excited about. I please just go check it out because, and again, I snipe in this a lot, but I think this could be a reality television show, and we're going to try to pitch it. So if you could help get those numbers up for me, I'd really appreciate it. There's 3 out right now. Middle-aged Weekend.
Is that what it is?
Or Wasteland, yeah.
I think that Brian might have had the same problem that Gopal had because there is no. There's no.
Oh, I want to recount then.
I know. I'm looking. Well, there were more that came in. Actually,
I'm demanding a recount. I think I got like probably 100, and there were 50 people that got refunded.
I'm trying to look, but I don't. I'm going to go through them again and double check. But there was one when I went through the starred ones; they were not there. But we will continue to check it out. But I'm excited to see more of. I mean, this December, I think we had a pretty good run, Brett, with what we did. The New York. Yeah, let me tell me about that. About since we got to New York and everything was set up. Remember when I was leaving? Roxy was convinced that the show would end.
Oh yeah. I didn't think so, and part of me, like showing you how to use virtual camera and things like that. Where I was trying to keep everybody's job alive, and I think it's been doing really well.
Oh, I found Brian's. I found it. I did skip it. There was 2 that I skipped. How did that happen? There's a couple. Kenneth Colton. We missed Kenneth Colton. Thank you for pointing that out, Brian. I would have skipped right past us. How did that get missed? Kenneth Colton says, Apple's really on top right now. Silo 2 and Shrinking Season 2 are both amazing. Brett is my spirit animal. Wishing you all a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, are you the one that said that that's not the thing to say now? Or Roxy
it's kind of derogatory towards indigenous people.
Is that what they say? Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as Silo Season 2 and Shrinking 2, I got to watch Silo. I haven't seen it, but Shrinking Season 2, I started and I liked it, so I have to finish that up. Sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen Silo. It's
the Rebecca Ferguson science fiction show. It's supposed to be really good. Brian O'Neill. There we go. I don't like the Dune films, but I really love the show. Hey, listen. If you maybe it'll give you a bit more appreciation for the movies. I mean, I love the movies, obviously, but I did like the show. I watched both episodes and I was like, oh, are there more? And there's like, no, not yet. It's got a real Game of Thrones feel to it. I think you like it, Brett.
Yeah, I think I will.
Let me see. I'm trying to find. I want to make sure. I'm so glad that Brian pointed that out. I wonder why.
No kidding.
That was missed.
I mean, it's too bad that they're still counted.
Well, you got 50. Well, no, there was a few more that came in, so you got 54 as we were looking. So we got 54 still, but still you need about 30 in a matter of 10 minutes in order to beat Rogan.
Oh, you guys got it.
You got it. You think so? I'm going through the rest of these and double checking, making sure we didn't miss anything else because there was. I don't know how those. I really don't know how those got missed. But these I saw. So we got Brian's, and then we have the heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. Now you know. Got that also. I'm trying to think of as far as what are the big movies are that come out at the end of the year besides Mufasa. I mean, Nosferatu. There's the Werewolves comes out too. Have you seen the trailer for that? That's the Frank Grillo one.
No, is that fun?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna see it soon because I'm pretty sure we're getting him on the show next week. Nice. So that's gonna be a good one because I just watched Warrior again, and then I started watching Kingdom, which is a really good show. But he's got tons of stuff, and I'm gonna watch. I got access to Creature Commandos. I got access to the Skeleton Crew. So I'm gonna have a busy weekend checking out all this stuff. Let's see what else. I want to make sure there's a couple other ones that popped in. You got 55 55.
Hey, look at that.
That's pretty damn good, 55. And then we have, Pete Parker going on the bottom here. So I had to go all the way. Sorry, guys. I had to go all the way down there in order to do this. So this is now Trickster, most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. It would have been Nosferatu. I saw it already. So what else out of the ones that are coming up? I mean, Sonic, I'm looking forward to, but let's see what other ones are coming out. I'll put this right here, Brett. I'll show you so you can see this also, and you can tell me which ones you're looking forward to for the rest of the year. You got, okay, this is January. So the rest of the year, we're going to start with December. And that, maybe Craven. I'm just because I'm interested in it. So December, Werewolves I'm interested in. Craven the Hunter I'm interested in for sure. Lord of the Rings I've seen. Mufasa.
It's cute that you'd think I could see that.
You can't see that?
I can see it. I can't read it.
Oh, you can't read that? Why not? What's wrong with you?
I got bad eyes, man.
You don't have glasses on? How about this? Right, watch this. How about that? Is it better?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I just pulled it up on my phone.
Okay. So
slammed it up against my face.
Anything in there that you're looking forward to?
I mean, Mufasa. Yeah, I agree with that one. Oh, look at that's good. Me looking down at the.
Yeah. How about this? How about hey, Clay Titus says, hey, Brett, thanks for the review of Monkey Nips.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Cali Kid, any update on Scorsese's Jerry Garcia movie? No, I haven't. There was like a brief thing on him, but then it just kind of went away. He didn't really talk about anything else. So that's it.
We did it.
Okay. And if people said your camera's blurry. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. And I think we got everybody now. War Roar is what people are saying. And if I hadn't seen it, that probably would be one of my most anticipated right now, too. But 2025 is right around the corner, and that's going to be now. You're not blurry. Now that's what I'm saying. That's what you should have done the whole damn show.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it when I'm back here?
Oh, that's what I was trying to tell you. Remember, I told you before that your hand was in focus.
Yeah.
You're completely, and now you good.
It's crazy because in I'm telling you, in this other, I have two. I have the preview, and then I have the one that's live. In my preview, I'm perfectly crisp. I don't get it. Well, we'll figure it out next time, folks.
There is one more. Pete Parker. He says, do you have early screenings for Skeleton Crew? Yes, I currently have it in my inbox. I plan to watch it this weekend. I'm not going to do reactions to them because I just don't have the time to do the reactions to them, but I will do a full review of them. Whatever. I don't know how many episodes are in there, but once I see it, I'll review it for sure. And I think that's it. That's it now. Now we did it with 56. All right. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you check Brett out on his channel. Make sure you check out Friday, which you're going to have both Winston and Coy on the show, so you can check them out, support them, see if they can beat Roka. But I want you guys to have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy being with friends, family, do the whole thing. Stay safe. For people who aren't in the U.S., enjoy your day. Have a nice time. Do what you got to do. And we'll be back here. Remember, we're off tomorrow. We're not going to be here tomorrow. On Friday, the Winston and Coy show will happen. And then I'm also going to I'm looking to put out the Sonic the Hedgehog reaction out on Friday morning. So that will be the content on this channel. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. For me and Brett, we'll see you later. Bye.